Hopefully I'll be able to access the shield network from this console. Good, it's functional, and my passcodes still work. Now let's find your ship. The TSF probably thinks the ship was put down in the wastes, but they don't know the planet as well as I do. Telos' atmosphere has been turned into acidic vapor. Landing a ship in the wastes would be like sealing it in a hangar full of hungry Minocs. So that means there's probably an unsanctioned landing site somewhere on the planet, still shielded, but not a restoration zone or other listed facility. That's why I need access to the shield network. Here, a small anomaly in the shield network's power grid. I'm not surprised the TSF didn't spot this. It's subtle, more like an error or random flux than anything suspicious. It looks like power is being drawn to generate a shield over a small area in the polar region, but nothing should be down there. Orbital cameras show nothing, just an empty mesa.
We should investigate this. I feel this is the best bet of finding the Ebon Hawk.
That's a little tougher. According to the computer, a shuttle is currently docked inside the research facility. At least there was at last report, though that was months ago. I don't, but that's not going to stop me. I'm getting back to Citadel if I have to build a new ship myself. There's one other small problem. Recently, Zerka teams that were sent into the military facility have not been coming out. But it's not as though we have any choice. This arm of mine isn't just for show, General. Stand back. The Zerka mercenaries were a little surprised when I broke my way out of my holding cell. The shields there were even weaker than these. After you. There she is, one orbital shuttle. Looks like it's in serviceable condition. That's all a moot point, though. The hangar bay doors are closed. I don't fancy flying the shuttle through solid metal, so I'd say we need to find a way to get them open. We'll also need to find the ignition codes for the shuttle, or else we'll have some trouble getting off the ground. If we get all that, I wouldn't worry about what shape this heap is in. I'll get it running.
Tawancha morichiwa, mufalawa ni bobo wish yot kuna sita dorcho ni sobawata. Kawana bota yunta tanga kinamatora. Tayaita, ta bosananansata. Tonata biasvia. Jicho watana, kunera que te dinito para más nucho. Greking no una panca di planito ba manananga.
General, need something? I moved around for a couple years. Working as a starship mechanic got me from place to place. I wasn't ready to settle down after the war. Then you understand my restlessness. Though the war had ended, I couldn't find peace in anything. As long as I kept moving, I didn't have to think about what happened. Know what I mean? I'm sure you do. I decided I'd do something constructive. I wanted to make up for the things I'd done in the war. I wanted to design planetary shields, but there weren't many systems with the credits to spare. There was more that needed to be rebuilt and protected. I found out that Telos was going to be the flagship project for the Republic, and it sounded like something good. I saw Telos before the Sith raised it. It deserved a better fate. But Zerka ruined everything. I thought I could force Zerka out on my own, but I guess I can't fix everything myself. It's good to be working with you again, General. Something else I can help you with? That old thing? I built him when I was a kid. Been following me around for years now, despite what I've done to try and chase him off. Hey, just kidding. I'm happy to have you around. I would, but then I wouldn't be the only one with a floating sphere following him around, and I kind of like that. He helps me out with repairs. I outfitted him with a cutting laser and some other tools for delicate modifications. He's also good for singeing the pants of annoying techs. I've been thinking about doing some other work on him, but I barely have time. Too busy fixing up the ship. Something else I can help you with? I got tired of it. Kept dropping my hydro spanner. Figured I'd get a new one. I was only kidding. Actually, it was a souvenir from Malachor. I was lucky it was all I lost. But at least it gave me something to do, right? Everyone always said I was probably half machine anyway. Something else I can help you with?
Đông Laldu Trung Na. Đông Laldu.
Yes? Have you?
Statement. We have arrived too late. The target has evaded us. We must pursue it. Observation. They have likely escaped aboard the orbital shuttle that has been docked here. The bay control computer likely will have a record of their departure. Query. Have you discovered anything about the shuttle's course? Answer. I have managed to track the shuttle's movement across the shield network. However, the shield network does not stretch over the polar region, which was the shuttle's apparent destination. Statement. Dispatch a unit to the polar region with the last known coordinates and approximate path of the shuttle. They will not escape us again. Irritated declaration. There you are. It has been extremely difficult to track you down, Jedi. Quick clarification. But now that we have found you, we hope that we can facilitate communications. Unnecessary addendum. And put an end to hostilities. Self-evident answer. Wherever you try to run, we will be there, armed and ready. Rhetorical query. So the query you have posed to us is one we put to you. What are you doing here, we wonder? Unnecessary clarification. We merely wish to cripple your vessel. Once we tracked your coordinates, we were able to deploy several droids in this location. Probing query. We are, however, curious as to why you chose to come to the remnants of the polar Telos irrigation system. There is nothing here that our instruments can detect. Eager threat. But we are looking forward to extracting your motives for coming here when we place you in torture restraints. Self-evident answer. Wherever you try to run, we will be there, armed and ready. Rhetorical query. So the query you have posed to us is one we put to you. What are you doing here, we wonder? chiding statement. Oh, Jedi, there are as many of us as are needed to capture or kill our targets. Egotistical boast. And there are far more of us than any one Jedi. Destroy one of us, and more shall rise from the wreckage. Unnecessary threat. And our attack protocols are more than a match for you and your allies. irritated declaration. Quick clap.
Lay down your weapons, and you shall not be harmed.
Why is it that everywhere we go, I end up in a cell? I mean, why did they lock us up? What is this place?
It is a training ground for Jedi.
What? This ice hole?
Yes, it bears the semblance of an academy. But where are all the students? Curious.
You've got to be joking. What is a Jedi Academy doing out here in the middle of nowhere?
It is a place hidden from the galaxy like the Academy on Dantooine. But this place... Oh, Atris, you have been clever.
Atris?
It's none of your concern.
Well, the sooner we're out of here, the better. 2 crazy Jedi are more than enough for me. No one told me we were going to be dumped in a nest of Jedi.
And what is it about this place that causes you such fear?
What do you mean? We're in the middle of a bunch of Jedi. You know how they are.
No, I do not. Not in the way you seem to.
What are you doing? Get out of my head!
Stop struggling. Let me follow the current. Deep, deeper to its source.
Stop! Stop! Ah!
Ah, with the fear is mingled guilt. It squirms in you like a worm. And the why? Ah, and there is its heart. You surprise me. I could not feel it before. Your feelings are a powerful shield indeed. Do not worry, Atten. If he is a Jedi, he will forgive. And if he is not, he will not care.
You can't tell him, please. I'm asking you. I don't want him to...
Think less of you. I hardly think that's possible. Still, there is no shame in what you ask. We all wage war with the past, and it leaves its scars. I will not speak of yours, Atten, but there is a price for such things.
What? What price?
There are those who wage war and those who follow them. You are a crude thing, murderer, but you have your uses. You know how important this man we travel with is. Even one such as you can feel it. You will serve him until I release you.
And if I refuse?
You will not. If you do, then my silence will be broken. And then, Atten, you will be broken. You fear the Jedi, and rightly so. If Atris learns of your choices, you will never leave this place. But whatever fear you hold of the Jedi, know that if you disobey me, that my punishment will make you beg for the death that has long hounded you. Wipe the fear from your mind. You will not find blind obedience a difficult master. You chose it once. You will learn to embrace it again.
I don't know how you became such a manipulative witch, but why a vicious old scow like yourself would even bother with me is a bigger mystery.
No game of Djarik can be won without pawns, and this may prove to be a very long game. You are a slippery one. Your thoughts difficult for even one such as I to read. I suspect the self-loathing that squirms within you gives you a curious strength. Your spirit, as diseased as it is, refuses to allow you to give up, no matter what threats you face and whatever wreckage you leave behind you. I feel you have crossed our path for a reason. Perhaps even you, at the right moment, may be able to turn aside disaster. If so, your potential is not yet spent.
Fine. I'll be your pawn. But I still think you've got the wrong man.
Perhaps. But someone has to fly the ship, and the Force is a hard thing to predict. You have crossed our path for a reason. Our path brought us here for a reason. And now I know why. The past is here, and it must be met before the future can be set in motion.
More Jedi speak. Care to explain?
No. I've wasted enough time with you. Sleep, murderer, and be silent. I need no distractions. A critical moment approaches.
I did not expect to see you again after the day of your sentencing. I thought you had taken the exile's path, wandering the galaxy. Yet you have returned. Why? Yet here you are. Perhaps you do not know yourself as well as you think. Regardless, your arrival here begs an explanation. Have you come to face the judgment of the Council, as you did so many years ago? Are you finally willing to admit that we were right to cast you out? You presume much. The Force does not guide your movements, not anymore. Its connection was lost when you fell. Perhaps you feel that the Force also led you to the Mandalorian Wars as well, but in truth it only led to your exile. So you said, so long ago. I didn't believe it then, and I don't believe it now. You sought adventure. You hungered for battle. You could not wait to follow Revan to war. The Jedi Order asked only for time to examine the Mandalorian threat. They urged caution, patience, and you defied them. So when you returned, you were brought before us. You were a Jedi no longer, and so you were exiled. There was much about that day that was difficult to forget. Your words, your defiance, and when you stabbed your lightsaber into the center stone. I have kept it, so I would never forget. Indeed. A lightsaber is the mark of a Jedi. When you turned your back on the Order, it was not yours anymore. I have always kept it, as a reminder of what can happen when your passions dictate your actions. I have kept it, so I would never forget your arrogance or your insult to the Order. Become a Jedi again? That is a thing far out of reach. But I am not unsympathetic to your feelings. Leaving the Order must have been difficult for you. Yet you gave the Council no other choice. You gave me no other choice. So your choice was to meet the aggression of the Mandalorians with more aggression. That is not the Jedi way. Every choice we make, whether we know it or not, sends echoes through the Force. It can awaken feelings, ignite passions, hate, anger, fear, where none existed before. By meeting aggression, by serving as an opponent against which the Mandalorians could test themselves, you fed their hate, their lust for war, and it sent a terrible echo through you. And because of it, you and those Jedi who met them on the battlefield lost their way, and you turned on us. Of course I was. But the Jedi teachings require we examine how we may best help them. Action without reflection is not our way. There was no guarantee that marching to war would have saved the Outer Rim. In fact, quite the opposite. A physical victory perhaps, but the real victory lay in... Do not twist my words. A physical victory is not the only victory, or the only loss. You do not know... How dare you? The Mandalorian Wars should have been your grave, and Malachor 5 is where you should have died. What? What do you mean? You were wrong, just as you were when you defied the Council. I tire of fighting with you. You lust for war, and you always will, and you have succeeded in distracting me from my questions. So answer me. If you cannot seem to admit the Council was correct, then why are you here? Your concern is noted. Your friends have not been harmed. They have been detained for their safety. I find it unusual that you are traveling with others again. I had thought you had forsaken the company of others after the war. Or is that why you are here? Yet here you are. Perhaps you do not know yourself as well as you think. Regardless, your arrival here begs an explanation. Have you come to face the judgment of the Council, as you did so many years ago? Are you finally willing to admit that we were right to cast you out? You presume much. The Force does not guide your movements, not anymore. Its connection was lost when you fell. Perhaps you feel that the Force also led you to the Mandalorian Wars as well, but in truth it only led to your exile. So you said you saw the Jedi. So when you... There was much I had kept, so I would never forget. Indeed, I have kept... Become a Jedi, but yet you get... Indeed. So then... Your ship? Ah, the Ebon Hawk. It is not your ship. Unless you are admitting to the... 'Tis. 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 ' The Ebon Hawk is here, safe. Its records and navicomputer are being dissected. We're having some trouble with the navicomputer, but I think with your cooperation, willing or... If it is your ship, perhaps I should be questioned. A facility of over 150 personnel, all dead before you arrived. A childish story to mask your crime. Necessary? The destruction of Paragus was necessary? You have not changed. Acting instead of thinking, putting yourself before the galaxy. Do you know what... No, your crime is without the fuel from Paragus, Citadel Station cannot maintain its orbit. It will crash. Telos, the other... So you still hold to your flawed convictions. How is it that you are not content to confine your ruin to yourself? Ruin yourself with your actions if you will, but when your actions bring harm... The Sith? You speak truly. You have encountered the Sith. I can feel the scar. Tell me, where did you encounter them? Paragus? What would they want there? They can't have been looking for you. You. If they thought you a Jedi, the teachings of the Sith blind them indeed. I am the last Jedi, not you. You betrayed our teachings, our beliefs, the very core of the Jedi Order. If these Sith attacked you, they will soon realize their mistake. And if you escaped, they most likely let you go to see if you would lead them here. You offer your aid after turning your back on me? On the Council? The Jedi is not something you embrace out of fear. The commitment is stronger than that, something you never seem to understand. Perhaps. But if you help me, it cannot be done from here. There are others in the galaxy who may help us against a Sith threat. If you can find them, gain their trust, take your ship, seek them out. If you find them, encourage them to gather on Dantooine. From there... Then I shall send you on your way.
We shall remove him, Mistress. Come with us. Are you all right, Mistress?
The exile brought up feelings best left forgotten.
Forgive me, Mistress, but I must ask. The exile, I've never seen another affect you so strongly. Did you care for him once?
The Jedi have no such attachments. As always, he will do as he wills. And the galaxy, and the feelings of others, can burn for all he cares. The day we judged him, I stood in the chamber and he was so right. He was so certain of it, I doubted myself. He chose Revan over the Jedi, over the Council, over... But now I am tired. I must meditate.
Of course, Mistress. I will tell the others you are not to be disturbed. And please, do not exhaust yourself. We can attend to matters here.